Italy claims Yugoslavia. By what means, I'm not sure, because that has not been Italian land since the days of the Western Roman Empire.
But
they're fascists. They don't care.
And it wasn't sort of a Roman call to glory part of Mussolini's
It was,
shtick?
yeah. There was definitely an element of that there. I'm actually surprised that 20th century Italian nationalism didn't rely more on Roman symbology. That's something that I've done a lot of reading on, actually. How many planes do we have? Have they managed... Okay, they managed to crash 5 more planes. Even though we're telling them to run on the lowest intensity, but we are getting... Oh, actually, we're not getting any air experience, so... Well...
I'll take advantage of our research bonuses, man.
Machine, yeah. I'll get that. As fast as possible. So we're going to be very technologically swift here.
Which is good.
Yeah.
We want to be.
Man, we're using so much of our factory output on consumer goods, even with partial mobilization.
Gotta build Gotta build the nation up, man. Gotta build the nation up. About to get that National Security Act.
Alright, so Civil Construction Corps, that will really help because it yeah, that almost wipes out the penalties from the Depression, actually. We will conscript able-bodied men to serve in the Civil Construction Corps to help in the building of airfields, transportation, forts, and other important military infrastructure.
So the Great Depression, Anschluss.
Anschluss! That was like a combination of French and German pronunciation. Okay, so this is a new event added for the British Raj. The Indian National Congress triumphs in provincial elections. In the recent local elections, the Indian National Congress has achieved an overwhelming majority for their platform of slow and ordered transition to local government and dominion status in the future. It appears that Indians have rejected the more radical policies advocated by Gandhi, who argued for a total break with Britain and absolute home rule as soon as possible.
Wow, Gandhi just got rejected.
Yeah, it makes sense given the diplomatic situation.
It does. Not a great time to be independent.
Yeah. Definitely integrated support, I think, is better for smaller nations. Because it will allow our engineers and our recon companies to perform better.
Which we'll take.
Yep. And
I'm shocked that Japan is not doing better, frankly.
They're doing okay. I've seen them definitely do worse than this. I've also seen him take Nanjing in like 6 months, but that's not all that common. Alright, so who do we have for our political advisors? Are there anyone we can... Okay, so we can actually unlock some of these guys when we take Never Another Gallipoli. Democratic Reformer requires us to sever ties with the UK. I don't think we're going to need democracy support, though. Labour Party is pretty strongly in power. But we can eventually hire this guy who will help us get better trade deals. So we're not building any of this stuff right now.
Don't need it.
Yeah, so I suppose...
maybe it's time to start building the military staff.
Yeah, Chief of the Army, Offensive Specialist, Defensive Specialist, Organization Specialist might actually be our
I think so, honestly.
Yeah.
Gotta keep things tightly organized in a small army.
Right. Capital ships. That's ambitious for a nation the size of Australia. That's having eyes bigger than your stomach for sure. I don't think we might eventually have enough production to build like one aircraft carrier, but I don't see us having a massive fleet in being. I think it's going to be small, hard-hitting...
Absolutely.
Screens and cruisers.
Yep, fast-moving.
Yeah.
Damage-dealing.
Because Japan's going to be... Their big fleets are going to be engaged with the U.S., so what we're going to be wanting to be doing is making sure they can't land on New Zealand, They can't land on any of these British territories. They can't land in the Solomon Islands. We'll probably be, protecting the East Indies and the Philippines to some degree. You might actually try to take Taiwan. That's something that's probably a manageable goal for us.
And something that would put Japan under a tremendous amount of pressure.
Especially if we can get some U.S. volunteers from the Philippines to help us out with that. Alright, so Civil Construction Corps, we can now get the Allied Works Council.
Which we want.
All military construction in Australia will be overseen by the Allied Works Council. This centralized planning will make sure the government gets the type of productivity it needs. So we're going to finally... That'll once again double our civilian factory output, which is now starting to snowball, if you'll notice.
Absolutely.
And we can actually bump up now that we have better industrial tech. I don't know if the Outback will ever get any factory slots.
But
that's okay. I mean, this is basically just a giant desert for our enemies to die in if they decide to invade us.
Exactly. Where every living creature in it is trying to kill you.
No,
Can you imagine trying to invade the Australian Outback?
So the last game I played is South Africa. Japan actually did invade Australia, and Australia had like one division of like elite infantry just running around the Outback killing all of their soldiers. So yeah, that could work out.
Well, I mean, think about how dangerous the Outback is beyond the fact that it's a brutal, hot wasteland.
Yeah.
Like for an invading army, the snakes, the spiders, it's a nightmare.
Right. So I'm holding off longer than I normally do on upgrading our infantry equipment, just because I want to have a good stockpile of the old stuff, just in case we need to equip a lot of conscripts. They have a gun, even if it's not the best gun possible.
Yes.
Let's see. Industry.
Well, history is replete with examples of, not having enough equipment to arm your forces. It's not good.
Let's see. We should at least get. Oh, by the way, they've added new pictures and names specific to each nation.
Awesome.
For these texts now, so we can see that we are using the LSF AF rifle number 6 Mark 1. And we're going to research the Vickers MG and Stokes mortar, which were both very important weapons to the Commonwealth troops in World War II.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And, good for China holding their own. They're getting pushed back, but
they're starting to fall apart. Mao's actually holding a lot better. Yeah, Japanese are on the outskirts of Nanjing. They've crossed the river, so there's probably not much in terms of saving it at this point. Australian arms production, or we could go ahead and get another research slot. That's probably better than getting more.
For now, for 70 days, yes.
And especially since we only have 2 at the moment, we could really use that third.
To keep pace,
Two is like third world nation quality science. Fall of Nanjing, there we go. Significant development. So they will probably capitulate before too long here. Yeah, Shanghai is worth 10. Hangzhou is worth 1.
Go for it.
Might as well, go up to the Lewis gun and the SBML 2-inch mortar.
Take advantage of those Commonwealth bonuses while we got them.
Definitely. Let's see. Let's hire some general staff.
I'd do an infantry genius.
Right. Artillery. Oh, yeah. So we have an infantry genius and an air superiority genius, which is pretty awesome. Infantry attack and defense. Holy crap. Who was Arthur Allen? Someone tell us who this guy was. Plus 15% attack and plus 20% defense.
We need him. We need him
that's
on
gonna be like that's gonna be a game changer right there.
So our army just got formidable with the hiring of one guy. That's funny.
Yeah, that's gonna be. That's like, I think that's close to what the British Raj gets with their Gurkha units. Like, that's really badass. Yeah, so the China's completely collapsing at this point. I mean, the run from Nanjing to Shanghai was basically a steamroller from what I can tell. And Mao's getting attacked from 3 sides. He's still holding his own, though. He's still pushing him back. in the north here. I don't know if Japan has military access through Mongolia. Yeah, so they might get surrounded and wiped out there. Fourth International delegates, Trotskyism growing abroad. Stalin's not happy. Yeah.
No, that's why Trotsky ended up with an ice pick in his head.
Yeah. France and Britain announced an alliance. That's interesting that they did that before Germany declared war on Poland.
Mm-hmm. Nice research slot.
We got another research slot. Volunteer Defense Corps gives us ideology, drift defense, and foreign subversive activities efficiency.
We'll need that eventually, but not now.
Yeah, let's see. Well, now that we have some more civilian industry, we can probably...
You know what I would do, honestly? The Cockatoo Island shipyards would be what I would go into it.
That's
Help
true.
us expand our Navy, that naval experience.
Anything else that gives us dockyards? Yeah, we might as well get the couple of free ones here.
Absolutely.
Or 3 free ones.
We're gonna need the Navy to be blunt.
Yeah, no, you are absolutely right on that. Let's get some improved infantry equipment, unless there's an industry tech that we have unlocked. No, still ahead of time. All right, the Munich Agreement. So Germany's demanded the Sudetenland. No war this year. I mean, unless you're China. In which case, there's lots of wars.
At which point, Mao has rallied. Check that out.
Oh, yeah? Okay, yeah, so there is actually an outside possibility that the PRC can defeat Japan by themselves and take over the country immediately. I've not seen it happen myself, but I know that is something that there are events in place if that does happen. I'll probably wait until the China-focused expansion, as we discussed, before I try that myself. Alright, so the Lewis Gun Mark III. A terrific little piece of British engineering.
Get the Ford, man. 40%.
Oh, yeah. Ford F30AP. Let's make sure there's nothing else that's...
Ooh, there is, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Radio. We want the radio.
Radios. We probably want some radios. That would be helpful. Especially reinforce rate is extremely useful for small nations. They're hugging the coast. They've probably moved the capital inland. Yeah, that's smart. At this point.
Look at Mao go.
Yeah, he's
actually making gains.
He has his capital in a mountain region, which is definitely helping him out. But yeah, Meng Kuo is pretty useless. Improved infantry equipment.
We'll take it.
Owen gun still a
get
few
that
months
Ford
ahead. All right, let's go ahead and get the Ford F30AP.
We want our army modern, if you can't tell, and we want our navy as powerful as we can possibly make it, which is why I think the Cockatoo Island shipyards were.
Yeah, no, I think that's definitely the best thing we could have researched at this point. I really don't think we're going to build a lot of planes. I mean, we can rely on the...
We'll have an Air Force, but I don't know that we're going to have
and the RAF for that for the most part. Alright, so... Yeah, that's just research bonuses for doctrines, so we don't really need
either of those yet.
So... Logistics companies. Let's go ahead and get these factories, these military factories.
I would agree.
And that'll also get us to the point where we can get some additional research slots. Alright, so we have free dockyards. So let's go ahead and...
We should start the sub fleet.
Here's what I'm wondering. Whoops. If we can build these faster... I'm thinking we might be able to save resources overall if we focus on one type of ship at a time.
Right on, and use the dockyards.
Yeah, and it's not. We still have plenty of oil, so we just need a little bit more steel from the UK, and we should be able to. Yeah, because that way we will have more ships faster.
Yep. No, I agree.
Yeah, that'll be.
Got that radio, and I would go ahead and go the next one down if I were you. Radio detection.
Let's look and see. So that's still a year ahead. Should probably get Marines at some point.
Well, down there, 50%.
Yeah, let's go ahead and grab Marines.
I would agree at that. 50.
Yeah.
Once you're at 40, 50%, it's almost a freebie in terms of.
Yeah, we've got a really good research speed at this point.
We're a robust little nation here.
Yeah. Artillery expert, capital ships.
Ships.
That's like the last one I would want. Like they couldn't give us a cruiser expert. Air combat training, ace generation chance, air superiority.
He's a genius. I mean,
we probably want artillery right now, is what I'm thinking. Because we don't even have an air force really. I mean, let's check. Do we still have an air force? Okay, they've managed not to crash any additional planes. So they crashed 13 out of our 24 planes, and I think they're done crashing planes now. Let's hope.
China is giving Japan some headaches. Honestly, this playthrough.
I think they lost their critical coastal regions too quickly, though, to be able to bounce back. I could be wrong.
I'm just kind of surprised, I guess, how firm Mao is holding.
Yeah. Yeah, they are both in the Chinese United Front faction, so they are sharing intel and military access right now.
And Mao had just invaded Menkukuo. Look at that.
Oh yeah, he's kind of pushing them back a little bit. I'm curious. Let's see. So China's still a fair way away from capitulating. So they are going to fight for every inch.
We love them weakening Japan. We love that.
Yeah.
Give Japan some hit some body blows for us here in 1938 and 39.
Yeah, because this area is a pain in the ass to fight in. I've played some Japan campaigns where...
And Mao is blitzing Japanese territory. He got his force that did it got cut off, but...
Yeah. Alright, so we can't get the Bren carrier yet. We can't research the Owen gun, so let's go ahead and...
Yeah, it's an excellent weapon.
Yeah, get that going. Expand the Lithgow Small Arms Factory. We can expand the Northern Railway.
Good call.
Marines. Cool. German Reich claims Memel. Can't quite get the Bren Mark 1 yet. Bren gun is probably one of the most famous machine guns of all time. Oh, so we do get some tank stuff with this research tree. Can we get the next level of mechanical computing? No, we can't. Can we get the next level of construction? Yes, we can. Excellent.
That extra research slot makes a world of difference here.
Yeah, our economy turned around fast. We had one working civilian factory in 1936, and now we have 9.
That'll do.
Yeah.
That'll do, Pig. That'll do.
So we have some free military bandwidth that I think we can start adding some artillery onto our divisions here.
Which we need, so...
Yeah. What's our support equipment like? We've kind of got plenty, so I think I'll go ahead and switch one of those factories over to producing artillery. Don't need any additional resources, which is nice, and then we're going to need to modify our template to add in some support artillery. There we go. Hopefully we can get up to speed with that pretty quick here.
We would hope.
Because we're about to need a lot of production for upgrades when we swap over to the Owen gun as our primary infantry weapon. Yeah, they're inching inland.
Which is eventually going to be the end for Mao, because it'll open another front.
Yeah,
they're landing body blows, though.
Yeah.
Japan is doing worse than they did historically here.
Who owns this? Is that Germany? Oh, it's Portugal. Portugal owns Macau. France owns...
I'm not going to even try.
Guangzhou. And, yeah, Hong Kong, of course, is still British at this point in history.